Yeah, it's quite a temperamental thing, isn't it?
Yes, Discord was very upset this morning and not wanting to open. Probably because I
Mm.
haven't opened it since last time we gamed.
Oh, really? How do you run your other games? Because you do quite a few, don't you?
Normally through Skype,
Oh, do you? Right.
but in
Okay.
this one, everyone opted for Discord, so I'm like, you know what? We will try Discord.
Yeah, I
Does it
mean,
have a time limit?
Not really. I've got a one of the paid Skype accounts, so it covers everybody. So that way nobody has to worry about eating up any minutes.
yeah.
Mm.
It's not bad for like $3 a month, unlimited phone calls and all that good stuff.
Hmm.
It's only $3 a month.
At least the account I signed up for a long, long time ago, and they haven't changed it yet.
Oh, okay.
Or noticed that it's still only charging $3 a month, probably.
Okay. Good.
And it's
And
super
it's
handy.
only you, and it's only you as the host that actually pays that fee.
Yep, yeah. And it's nice because that way I can do phone interviews and things like that, whereas Discord can be kind of difficult for that for recording it, but Skype, there's quite a few good recording options for that.
Okay.
That way it can be
Okay.
safely recorded, so in case who knows what happens after the interview, the recording can still be salvaged from somewhere.
Right.
Because there's
Forgive
nothing
me
worse.
for asking,
Oh, go
who
ahead.
or what are you interviewing?
Usually game designers, other RPG book writers, things like that.
Oh, what for your kind of podcast channel thing,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
See.
like we should be hopefully getting some interview calls in the next couple weeks for Wild Wild West Con happening in March here in Tucson.
Oh, right. Awesome.
Because we all have
What?
questions of what's happening at the convention. We all know it's going to be required masks and social distancing, but what is going to happen at the con?
Sure. Sure. And and what is Wild Wild West Con? Is it like a steampunky Wild West thing?
Yeah, that's exactly it. See how well the name immediately translate. It's
Yeah.
in Tucson here. We used to have a theme park called Old Tucson. It was like an old western town. Lots of western
Okay.
movies were filmed there in the 40s and 50s and 60s. And the con is basically a steampunk convention set at an old west town. Unfortunately, before COVID, the company that ran the park closed. So now it's going to be the same con, but at a hotel. So it's going to totally feel different. But it's
Oh.
it's pretty much steampunks from around the world get together. We have panels, vendors, fun stuff happens all weekend long. It's going to be the first
What?
year where it's ever happened just at a hotel and not at the actual theme park.
Uh huh. So what happened to the town? I take it it's still there.
It's still there, but the city is finding a new management company to run it, and they're still deciding
Uh-huh.
what to do with it. I
Right.
mean, pretty much it's a place where a lot of like John Wayne's old movies were filmed out there, So it used to be an actual studio till it burned down, and then they reopened it as like a tenth of itself as a just a
Wow.
theme park. But it used to be a great little tourist attraction because you go there, you see the costumes, and if you're at the
Uh huh.
convention, you're wearing your steampunk Western or Victorian garb, and you're in an old West town. So it was a good
Yeah.
time. They have the saloon there with saloon shows, and this year will be a
I'm just
different
looking.
animal at a hotel, so we're not sure exactly what to expect yet.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm just looking at the Facebook site for it. Yeah, it looks crazy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
I
love
mean,
it. Looks great, man.
yeah, the costume contest and the fashion show, they're two different things. One is for prizes, one is for fun. Those are always
Right.
fun to see what people come up with. I mean, some people have
Oh,
extremely lavish costumes. Some people have, it's their first costume. So, of course, there's
yeah.
beginners category. So that way everybody feels, nobody feels like, oh my God, I can't compete with that. You know?
Yeah, costume, no costume Nazi like. Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Because that's always not a good crowd when you run into that type of thing.
Yeah,
Because everybody starts somewhere.
yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Uh,
And while we were talking, I
looks
did see
good. Am I
David
going to see
sneak
you in
in.
any of these photos on
You
here?
might. I know, like the last 3 years or so, there's been more photographers, so I've actually been on the other end of a camera. A
Oh,
lot of
okay.
times it's me taking photos for them as well as podcasting stuff, but I'm in a few photos
Right.
out there. Usually, if you see a guy in a duster with a hat, with glasses, with long hair, that's usually me.
Okay. Yeah,
Now, described
looking
just
at
like
these photos, that kind of doesn't necessarily narrow it down. Do you know what I
that's
mean?
like at least 5 people I can think of at the top of my head.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of LARP, and someone says, "Oh, go and speak to that guy, the one with long hair and the beard." It's like, yeah, thanks for that. It doesn't help me at all.
So I've limited it to only half the sex and half the guys.
Yeah, that's it. Uh, God, it
Talking
looks
about
bonkers.
how did your LARP go?
How did what? Sorry, go.
How did your LARP go? You went to an event last month,
Oh, I
right?
did. Yeah, back in I think that was October, wasn't it? No, it was good. It was a bit. It was a bit wet. It rained on kind of the last day, I suppose. So I had to take everything down wet. And we've got a great big. Our group's got a huge kind of canvas marquee, like a '50s military thing. But yeah, it was good. It was silliness. It was lots of running around in the woods and you know you know, throwing pretend fireballs at each other and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was funny. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, it was good.
Good. Glad to hear you had a good time.
Yeah, and it was good to get together with the guys and people I hadn't seen because of COVID. Of course, I guess everybody's in the same spot, aren't they? People I hadn't seen for years.
Yeah, that's one thing that's nice,
Yeah,
that events are starting to happen again. People are being safe. They're masking up,
yeah, yeah,
Especially, LARPers and steampunks. Masks, that's part of our cosplays. So how's that
yeah.
hard
That's
been?
the thing, isn't it? Yeah, totally. Uh, Yeah, so my season. So my season will officially start again, kind of April time. That's when our big events start happening. I crew for one of the big LARPs here, so
Nice.
we'll kind of get back into that, which will be good.
Yeah, out here in Arizona, we've got Wild West Con coming up in the first weekend of March, and then pretty much nothing through the summer because we don't con during the summer for the most part. Our
Is that because
Phoenix,
it's insanely hot?
yep, Phoenix Fan Fusion's got something going, or whatever they're calling themselves. They're no longer Phoenix Comic Con, it's Phoenix, whatever the name of the month is, type of thing. And then
Okay,
in September through November is like all the events happen in those 3 months.
right. Yeah,
It's
I've
funny
come
because
across a great photo here of a girl with a big kind of glass bubble on her head in a kind of turquoise suit with a laser gun. It looks awesome.
is she wearing blue with white shirt like a lab coat?
Kind of. I suppose I don't see the white shirt. It's kind of like a bluey turquoise kind of dress with a blue laser gun and a big kind of 50s kind of bubble space anaut bubble on her head. It's very good.
If she has a blue wig on, that might be my wife.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was the
Uh,
year when it was the alien invasion for the con. It was
oh,
the theme. So everybody came
oh,
in
it had a
steampunk
theme.
retro. And like the wife's cosplay group, the Chemistry Girls, they totally came up as 50s because there's should be one in orange, one in a light blue, and then one in a purple and yellow.
Oh right. Okay. For those. Wow.
As yes, on the map, all of a sudden, 2 cops end up at the door.
Ah, well, we didn't. Yeah, while we're talking.
So, David, we don't hear you in the
Right.
Discord, and I don't see you. Oh, he just popped into Roll20. He
No,
must know
I'm
what
here.
I'm about
Just
to say.
I just realized. Oh yeah, I didn't log in, but yeah, I've been listening.
I figured that was the
Cool.
case. All of a sudden, I was like adding cops to the door there in the map, and I'm like, oh, David's not in the map yet.
Yeah. No, I thought, oh yeah, should log in.
So have you placed these icons on the map? I assume,
Yep.
Jim.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
put
fine.
these guys on there. They're of
Yeah,
course
and now,
plainclothes cops, but of course they look good as coppers.
yeah, they look like they're on the traffic department.
And Guntis is going to be a little bit late, but I think this timing is probably going to be perfect because as the cops will probably kick in the door, he'll be able to arrive at the address you gave him with the door wide open and things happening. Just, saying. That's drama right there.
Cool, love it. So,
Perfect backup.
where were we?
So, everybody ready?
Yep.
As ready as we'll be.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
last we left off, and I totally pull up the chat bubble here for the facing of danger that happened, where King flat out
Yeah.
came and accused Martha, saying, "Are you the killer?"
Yeah.
Dramatic
Yep.
pause hangs in the air.
And I messed up the role, didn't I? And so she gets to do something horrible to me.
So as you look into her eyes and you ask, "Are you the killer?" and I recall you like clutched her arm, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I kind of took her wrist and,
So she
in that
couldn't
kind of
evade
classic
your
come
gaze.
to tell kind of way. Yeah.
As she looks into your eyes and the camera snaps and your eyes look into her eyes and you get this momentary, like if you're a fan of Dresden Files, soul gaze happens.
Okay.
So what is King's greatest pain? As all of a sudden we get this, your eyes stare into hers, she stares into yours, and we have this wavy Highlander style flashback.
I think I've had a bit of a think about this, and it's a tough thing to kind of the language of what is your greatest pain is a strange thing. But I think when he was a child, I think he had some kind of illness which caused him to become deaf and blind for a while, and
Ooh.
it was very frightening. And I would say that is probably his worst time because of music is his life, and I think that frightened him an awful lot.
And all of a sudden there's this montage is when you were ill and all these issues were going on with you and you're just like wandering in your own private darkness where you see like the vision from your eyes point of view where it's all cloudy and dark and King couldn't make anything out and you feel nothing but pain.
Oh dear. Okay, I think in that case I'll probably, if I've got any kind of sense of myself, I'll probably drop to my knees and grab my ears or something like that.
As all of a sudden, when you come back from that, you realize a second later that Martha's looking at you and there's a weird look on her face. It's not like, cherishing that you're in pain. She almost looks sad, like almost like a motherly look. Like, poor child look. And all of a sudden you hear a sound that kind of pierces your deafness that the other guys can't hear. It might be at like such a high frequency, only your keen, trained ear hears it. And a few glasses at the bar that are hanging up on top of the bar, you know how they do the upside down wine glasses, kind of shatter and the mirror cracks with one long crack through it. As she kind of screams, and it's a really loud pitching scream. Cirrus, over here immediately gets, you see he is angry that you are manhandling her and making her scream even though you dropped to your knees. And immediately at the door, you guys hear loud and clear someone say, "Police, open up!" And you hear the bang, bang, bang at the door. Because remember, earlier you had heard that they were out there.
Yeah.
And everyone was
that's
just ignoring them. But now with the piercing scream and some breaking of glass, and this guy screaming at the top of his lungs, you hear that they're kicking at the door any minute. It'll break open. Because, they're professionals and all.
Yeah. Love it.
So as King drops to the ground and Cirrus is about to step forward and probably start manhandling King, what is Cole doing?
Oh, got to intervene, of course. So
Cole would appreciate that a lot.
you mean King?
I mean, King would, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So where's who? So
This is
is
the
that
bouncer.
the big dude?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
So
right there standing over him.
she screamed, but then he's gone down. But I mean, is she an immediate threat to him?
She doesn't seem to be an immediate threat to him. It's not like she's looming to like stab him or kill him or anything. She's just standing there when he fell to the ground. Fell to the ground and has this look on her face like it's partially, he's opened his soul to her and she now knows his pain. And she's taking that information in. I mean, you guys don't know for sure what that is, but she's kind of like processing what his pain is.
All right.
So she's kind of like
Well,
just a little off kilter.
so what's
And the sound is traveling
our
with these
movement?
guys booting the door.
Right. So how far can I move?
You can just pretty much say, hey, if you want to move there, you can totally move there. Mind's Eye
I'm
Theater.
not sure
You
if
have
I
the
want to move
spotlight.
there or if I want to
Theatre
move up here.
Okay, so you're
Dude,
running
what
up
are you thinking?
to your buddy King as he drops to the knees.
Yeah, kind of interposing between her and the guard coming with. As I approach, I am pulling out the Fang of Typhon.
Ooh. Okay, so you're totally pulling the Highlander moment, running up to your buddy and whipping out a big damn sword. Which is, by the way, any
Well,
sword bigger than a flaying knife. It's like a gun.
it's a
It's a big damn.
It's a Zyphos sword. It's not huge.
Yeah, it's a little, 2-foot sword. But still, when you're having a sword waved around, it's just like a gun. It
Yeah,
gets bigger by proximity.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
So when you whip out your sword, are you like pointing it, gesturing it, waving it? How are you? How does it look
Oh,
when you whip out your sword?
taking a defensive stance between King and her and him. So yeah, basically anybody moves forward, yeah, the intent is there will be danger.
Ooh. So in that case, Sirius the Bouncer is going to have no problem getting right there up in your face, by the way. Are you going to defend yourself?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, don't forget, you may have help points with King. Just going to totally throw that one out there that you could totally cash in since you're helping him. And
Is that something I do, or is that something David does?
that's what David would do on his last card, where it's got the crew help points. He could totally cash in one of those if he wants a +1. So now the question:
Have I taken a status, by the way?
No, thankfully not yet. It's just that you've revealed your greatest pain to her, which she might in fact use this as a thing.
Yep.
So when Cole intervenes to get between, King and danger in general, are you looking for to change the game by doing some Zorro shit to try to de-escalate the situation? Kind of a face danger to basically you're there to protect King? Or how are you angling to do what you're about to do? Because you could
probably change the game.
Okay.
To interpose as a very threatening individual that we need to step back, calm down.
Because swords always calm things down.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I love it.
You've apparently been attacked, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Somehow. I've already had a suspicion that she's some kind of shit.
Yeah, I think we both came to that at the same time, didn't we? Oh, yeah. Did she?
There was a
Yeah.
beautiful
So-
simultaneous moment where you're both like, Columbo moment.
Yep.
Okay, so
So
go
yeah,
ahead.
so trying to
Okay.
trying to threaten and get them to calm down.
Okay.
So I clicked my tags, I think, that are
Yep.
appropriate.
Looks like you got a power of 4.
Yep.
Looks like
My own type of eccentric, and then pretty much everything on the Fang, my concealed holster, Fang of Typhon, and quick to defend.
Yep, and I don't see any weaknesses that should you know what? I will go
No,
ahead
'cause
and
they're-
click never strike an unarmed foe since neither of them are armed right now.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'll go with that one. Go ahead and do your change the game.
All right. Here we go. Let's see if this week's any better than
Yeah, I was going to say, don't start rolling shit again.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Hey.
That's
So
not bad.
you have a mild success, so whatever you're going for succeeds. So you do have a power of 3. So you can either reduce a status, which is not really a problem right now because King, really wasn't like long-term affected. It's just he just,
Right.
revealed his greatest weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can create a story tag power 3, or like a couple, story tag 1s if you want. What story tag would you like to create? I mean, you could totally do a whole de-escalate the situation. That's totally what its name would be.
Yeah, that'll work.
Create a story.
Okay, so you're totally at this exact moment, basically waving the sword around in a way to de-escalate as opposed to, cut someone's nose off.
Right. I mean, definitely not coming in like I'm here to kick your ass. I'm here to defend King.
Mm-hmm.
So I mark an attention, right, because the weakness was used.
Yep.
So that's my 3rd attention on the family heirloom.
Yep, lots of attention on that.
It's almost like the Go on, Jim. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Does it matter that the roll succeeded or not to mark attention?
No. If it gets the attention because I use the weakness.
Right. Fair enough. Okay.
So for a second, he's kind of hesitant, to go after the unarmed foes, but he still does anyway, just to protect his buddy.
Yep.
Right.
And
quick to defend.
There is that de-escalate the situation power 3 floating around there as a status in this room that you guys can kind of all tap into, because Cole has brought this momentary hesitation of look at my shiny sword, not at the people that are fighting. And Cyrus was going to think about throwing down, but now he's just like, he kind of gives you that, whoa, man, that hands up, like, I'm not going to throttle you with my big weapon of fists. And at that exact moment, Rico, because you're the guy that changes the locks out here, you know the sound when you hear this door get busted in, by the way.
Yeah.
And your buddy there's gone to your other buddy's aid, and you hear this door get blasted open with some team up boot prints, which these guys were working hard to get this to happen. And you can clearly hear the door blasts open, and they shout, "Police! No one leave!" And you hear running sound after the door explodes open, but they can only get so far after kicking in the big ass door.
Got it.
I mean, it is a big door in a bad neighborhood.
Got it. I'm going to pick up King, and I'm going to put him on one of the bar stools. And then I'm going to hop the bar and try to salvage 4 shot glasses and start pouring drinks.
Awesome.
And I tell the others, Alicia, Be cool, essay. Be cool.
Okay,
Very good. Very cool.
so I'm
Good
loving
thinking, man.
this arm flip over the bar real quick, but give me a face danger since there's jagged broken glass everywhere.
Ah, yes, because she exploded stuff, didn't she?
Let's see.
As the poor guy's jumping over the bar, and just as he jumps over, he realizes there's broken glass on the floor on the other side.
I'm going to tag uncanny parkour artist.
Parkour.
Wow.
Let's see. Face danger.
Oh,
There we go.
As the dice are totally in your favor. As you kind of like parkour over the bar, and immediately you see that big mirror with a crack, and you're just like, please don't fall on me. And you parkour like a boss. I mean, when you flip over, you look like a parkour master. You do that whole knees high in the air, arms back as you're flying over the bar. And you stand like right between two broken remains of glasses and nonchalantly just like breathe on the bar, and the rest of the broken glass wafts away. And you plop down the glasses and pour the drinks just as as I smear a green line across the map. Our two cops come blasting in around the corner, and they kind of wave guns in both directions. They're adamant professionals. They're clearing the room before they say anything, and they immediately whip out the badges on their no necklaces. They got those neck badges. They immediately look at everybody. They look right at Martha, and she kind of you can see she visually shirks from their look. And the one guy, shorter guy, looks and says, Dawes and Quinn, detectives, identify yourself. Put your hands on the and he kind of stammers when he sees Rico pouring glasses, like everything's cool. But then they kind of look at the dude with the sword, and then they see the bouncer who kind of looks at them and just shrugs, and King is just at the bar, just being King.
Looking disheveled, yeah, probably because of this foolishness.
They look over at Cole and just say, put the sword down. Kind of unsure exactly what to say about the sword that's being shown in a not threatening way.
Yeah.
And
I resheath it.
They immediately look over at Martha and kind of give Sirius a glance. It's like, Martha, we told you we'd be back with more questions, especially after the other death. And she just kind of shirks back into herself, it seems. That whole little, I'm just part of the decoration. As they immediately kind of ask for everyone to spread out and get identification out.
Okay.
Does everyone show them their papers?
I don't know. I don't even know whether that's something I'd have.
You probably have a wallet.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't drive, so I don't know what kind of identification I'd have.
He's got a library card and an old high school ID.
Blockbuster card. Blockbuster.
I mean, you can still get a state ID, so.
Oh, is that a thing? Is it right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so
I'll kind of. Yeah, I'll just kind of flip it out on the bar, and I'll keep looking at Martha, and I want to see what she's doing.
So Daz kind of comes up and basically IDs you guys and starts writing down your ID information, so in case he has any questions. And he's giving you the cop look, like, nothing but business. What are you doing here after the club is closed? And and he kind of looks at behind Rico. There's this big crack down the mirror, and one wine stem that's hanging upside down, just a broken stem and no glass. And he looks at Rico and he's like, "What's going on here?"
Repairman essay. I got called in to fix a toilet, and now I'm fixing this. I slide one of the drinks in front of him.
Oh,
and he kind of gives you a hint of a look. You're not quite sure what the look is, but go ahead and give me a convince roll. And there is that whole status that you could use, by the way, if you'd like to use de-escalate the situation. 3 to add +3. I mean, that's pretty huge there. What Cole gave you.
Yep.
A massive hint.
Actually, I'm gonna save that for the others because they may need it. I'm going to tag temp worker.
He's all playing the, oh, no, speak of English. It's gonna fix things.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag.
I'm just a day worker. I don't know nothing.
Yeah. It counts.
Yep, it totally counts. So you have a mild success with that, and you're just kind of like playing it off of, you're behind the bar, just doing your thing. Things break, and you come fix them. And he kind of like, what's the story of your friend here? As we flip over to King, who's finally recovered from his momentary spiritual journey.
Yeah, I'll just kind of take my ID back and just say, I'll look at the crack in the mirror and just say, earthquake, and I'll shrug my shoulders, kind of thing.
And he kind of like glances at the mirror and kind of nods at you, and he's like, I didn't feel any earthquake outside, but you never know. Since the big one in '84, that really did some damage across town.
Yeah, or maybe it was when you guys were kicking in the door.
And he kind of like just gives you this sure look because he just nods and takes hands back your ID after he writes a few notes under what he wrote for your ID information.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Stealing a glance at the badges. Are these the same cops that were mentioned previously?
Yes, Daz and Quinn are the exact 2 detectives that have been working this case.
Okay. Is there a precinct number listed on the badge?
There is. It's Precinct 12. It is not the unlucky 13.
Go on.
And Quinn kind of goes over there to Martha, and he starts asking her something in attempted hushed tones. If King wants to use those keen ears to try to overhear it.
Yes, definitely. I think so. I don't know what I need to do that.
I will gladly take an investigate roll from you, as you were basically eavesdropping because you can totally tell Daz is decoying the rest of you while Quinn is talking to her privately.
Quinn
you're totally sensing that.
Yep. Well, come on. First rule of cop school: separate and question. Come on. I like that. Long forgotten secrets hang like music. Yeah. Every lie sounds like a bum note. With that.
Okay.
Don't know whether if there's some lying or truths or other things going on. I don't know.
And I will totally tag your weakness for sees things no mortal was ever meant to.
Yes. That seems to make
because there is a broken mirror behind her, and things could be seen in the reflection of that broken mirror.
Love it. Love it. I think that's probably about it. Probably I could. Yeah, why not? Although, interestingly, I can't seem to. There we go. And I don't know whether music is the universal language where basically I can understand every language there is. I don't know. I assume they're speaking in, or are they speaking in a language?
They're just speaking in English.
Fine. Okay.
They're just doing it in hushed tones, and Quinn is making sure to put his body between her mouth moving and you guys. He's doing that whole he's a pretty big guy, 6'4", and he kind of does that puff up, get in the way, to make sure he's got her eye contact exclusively, not that she's weaseling around looking at anyone else but him.
Love it.
He seems
okay, so
very
investigate, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Christ.
Oh,
That's probably bad.
that's
probably
bad.
not good.
It's my turn. It's my turn this week, David.
Poor King.
Oh dear.
So, remember that weakness tag of see things no mortal was ever meant to see. As immediately King's like trying to lean at the bar and takes a sip of his drink, and he's trying to look like I'm just a patron at the bar. And Martha kind of glances back at you, and for a second you see her eyes start to make eye contact with you, and you immediately look away at the mirror. You do not want whatever that shit was that you just got a fistful of serving of, and you look back at the mirror, and her eyes kind of follow you to the mirror, and her eyes reflect in the mirror, and your eyes meet her reflected eyes in the mirror, and with the broken mirror, right where it's like cracked, you immediately see in her reflection a 50-50 break in her face, and then on the side towards her, immediately the half of her reflection where the crack goes right through her reflection fades to this almost translucent white, and her hair starts wafting in the air, and her eye turns this like almost, let's just say, White Walker blue. If you've seen Game of Thrones, you know that color. It's that unnatural crystal blue, and you see in the reflection of her real self, she gasps and at the situation, and her reflection screams, and you can practically see the broken side of the mirror with the evil reflection kind of vibrates.
Shit. I think I'll probably drop my glass and stand up from the bar, from the mirror, and kind of start backing away from the bar.
As immediately you all see King do this what the fuck moment, as he totally is not having the best of days, obviously.
No, I think I'll freak out a bit, and I'll start backing away from the mirror.
That's not reassuring.
Yeah, and I'm the one who normally gets involved in all the funky shit.
And
it's freaking me out today.
And just as King has that freak out, now where do you kind of step back as the cop's talking to your buddies?
Kind of probably if the bar's up against this wall, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll kind of start stepping back into the tables here somewhere.
Okay, so just as
can I go on?
Oh, go ahead.
Yep.
So just as you do that, you kind of spin around the room, and you're seeing like some weird, mild, visual hallucinations of like spirits that may or may not be there. You totally think they're not there, but you do notice that over here at the curtain, there's a flash of curtain, and you swear to God you see some bald tattooed guy in a hoodie that's gone in a flash. It's one of those of you're seeing ghosts of performers playing, and then all of a sudden you see the curtain flare, and you see like a gray dirty hoodie with a bald tattooed face kind of like flash by, like they think you saw them, so they're running away.
Oh crap. I'll kind of I'll look around a bit confused, and Cole, I think I need to go and lie down for a bit. Maybe you can take me to the back room.
Yeah. So I jump up to help him.
Probably gone a bit pale and just a little bit unnerved, I think.
He's had a rough day. And I'm going to go ahead and burn. Your every lie sounds like a bum note, by the way.
No problem.
That's the consequence for your hard miss.
Oh,
there
okay.
is that power is
Yep.
like burned out right now. You don't trust it.
Yes.
I mean,
No, I like it. I like it. So, are they the options? Are they to kind of burn or take a status or something like that?
Yep, usually for hard moves, I can give a status, remove a status, burn a tag, complicate things big time, deny them
Okay.
something they want, make something horrible happen, which that was totally the last one.
Yeah.
It was one of
Okay.
her abilities as a hard move. She gets to know your weakness so she can use it against you
Yep.
later.
Yep. I like
Or
it.
turn their move against them, which can
Okay.
always be
Cool.
combinations of. Okay, so
I like
King
it.
kind of staggers back there. Rico, what are you doing? As the cop's like over there giving Cole the whole, what's up with the sword, dude? And by the way, the cop is really cool. After, like, you know, people are being cool, he's really cool.
Yeah. So, I blow a bunch of bullshit up his ass and, hey, I pulled out luck. See, family heirloom, really cool. Just showing some moves for theatrical effect. They're always putting on such great shows here and everything. So,
Hey, I'm a theater kid.
right.
Okay?
There's theater in science, right?
There's totally theater in science. Half the Bunsen burners are burning just for fun.
Right?
So I'm going to say we need to take a quick 5-minute break because I just got asked for something, so I have to run across the house to get real quick. So
Okay.
grab a drink if you'd like. If
Yes,
we're
I do.
lucky, our fourth member will slide in since it is about that time. So everybody take a quick 5 minutes
Yep.
and drink it if you got it. Or cook it if you got it. One or the other.
Story tags. Oh, the guidelines.
Sorry about that. That
No
break.
worries.
Everything all right?
Oh yeah, everything's cool.
we're good. I'm back.
Okay, sounds like everybody's back. So, dramatic moment. I was really hoping
Yes.
Brutus would be here when I walked back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Popped into Discord real quick just to check. Okay, so dramatic moment. It's kind of, King is tripping here on the fact that lies sound like sour notes, and all he's hearing is sour notes and whispers of the past.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'll say again to Cole, I think I need to go lie down, Cole,
And then
please.
and Daz kind of looks and says, "I don't think your friend's looking too good here. I've
Yes.
I've got your IDs if you want to take him home so he can sleep off whatever he's been involved in." And Daz kind of looks at his partner, who kind of turns around at him and kind of nods. And Martha starts pointing at King and whispering to the cop, to Quinn. And Quinn kind of he gives King this long look of whatever she's whispering to him, and King's just kind of oblivious to the whole exchange happening.
Yeah, I think so.
King's got other things to worry about.
Yeah.
So you want
go on.
wanting out of here then, or
That
Just-
opening is that option is there.
just over to the stage to like chill?
Yeah, just maybe in the back room.
All right.
I just need to take some time out away from these mirrors, and I'll kind of, nod over towards Martha.
Take them
Something isn't
back into like the
isn't
dressing
right.
room or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out a bin and kneel down
Okay,
behind the bar.
sorry
and
guys, I gotta
start picking
step
up.
away real quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
No
Not a
problem.
problem. So is anybody watching Buck's Machina yet?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Pretty fun.
It's a little confusing. I mean, I did not follow the broadcast when they were getting aired.
Oh, neither did I.
So it's like I've watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes of season 1, and I'm realizing that they're on a different story. They're starting the show on a different story arc.
So
than what
this,
I'm
yeah,
accustomed to.
yeah. So this is their original storyline or an original game session. The first like 3, I think it was, or 2, were actually streaming because
No,
they
I
had
don't
some.
think I don't think it's pre-streaming because they're missing an actor. There was this one guy, Orion, who played the role of Tiberius, the Dragonborn sorcerer or Dragonborn wizard,
Uh huh.
and he's not in any of the episodes. And going into the background, it was like he parted ways with the group.
Oh, so he may not have sold his rights then.
No, as far as I know, he's doing a podcast where he's telling tales of Tiberius, independently of Critical Role.
Oh, okay.
So it leads me to believe that this Critical Role show is taking place after he departed from the group.
Not from what I read. Like I said, what I had read about it is, like I said, the first one or first 2 or first 3 of the episodes were like supposedly online before they started streaming, and then the rest of it carries on the rest of the season once they start streaming. So they must have just wrote him out.
Maybe.
So yeah, because I had found an article about it, and it was kind of interesting, especially the fact that all the actors are, basically, I mean, it's all the voice actors that were playing are doing their parts and stuff.
Yeah. James, are you back?
No, he's apparently
Okay.
not. Maybe he's
Okay.
fallen in. What was it on YouTube originally, or was it a podcast? Or
It was originally on
Critical
YouTube.
Role. Yeah.
Yeah. It was what? Critical Role was originally part of the Geek and Sundry channel.
oh, that's right. Yeah, is that the Will Wheaton thing?
Own channel.
Sorry, guys.
Right.
Back.
Not a
Okay.
problem. We were talking about Vox Machina.
Still have to watch the first episode, but Kelly has enjoyed the first 3.
Yeah, apparently they're releasing those episodes 3 at a time.
Yeah, I got like 3 minutes left on. Didn't quite finish before we started of episode 6.
Nice.
So it's well done. I mean, you listen to it and it's like, oh yeah, it sounds like a standard gaming session.
Sounds like a group I've been in.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay, so looks like Cole ran backstage.
Well, I'm taking King back there, so we were going to go to the dressing room so he could rest.
Yeah, if the cops are cool with us, just kind of, and if he's acknowledged that I don't look too well. But sorry, Rico, you were in the middle of doing something. You got a bin and we're going to do something.
Yeah, I pull out an empty bin, one of those bins that they collect dirty glasses in, and I'm going to bend down behind the bar and start picking up glass.
Ooh.
In hopes that they kind of forget about me being there, and
You're just gonna blend in with the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he's just a handyman.
Das is totally cool with you guys, going back there. They totally ask, the bouncer, Das like looks at his notes real quick and says, "Cyrus, is your boss Sammy back at the office? Would he mind if these guys go back behind the stage?" And the guy kind of like gives King this look, and he just like begrudgingly says, "No, boss wouldn't mind that guy back there at all." As Das is like, "Okay, cool. You guys go do what you got to do. If we have any questions, we've got your contact information." And he kind of like looks at King and kind of keenly, in the cop kind of fashion, reiterates that he's got your phone number just in case. Make sure it's correct.
Sure.
Know where to find us.
As Das kind of jokes with his partner Quinn, saying, "I don't know about you, but I don't want to have whatever that guy was drinking." And then you guys go behind stage. You kind of hear that back in the office here. You can hear Sammy's doing some stuff. He's loud. He's angry. He's very upset. Business must be going poorly, or the fact that his star attraction has got the cops' attention is always a bad thing. Dames and cops, always a bad combination.
Well, as soon as we kind of get back there, I'll grab Cole by the kind of lapels and say, "I'm sure I've seen that guy, man. The bald one with the tattoos. He was back here just a minute ago. I think I'm losing it, man. She's not right. She's not right. I saw something in the mirror, and it's worse than other things I've seen. We've got to do something about her. We've got to do something about her." And I'll kind of grab you by the lapels, kind of like a bit frantic.
Yeah. I try to calm down, sit him down on one of the cushy seats and stuff. Like, we'll get this handled, man. Chill.
Okay. And
I know there's something ain't right about that dame, though.
Cole's like, "I've known many co-eds, and something's not wrong with that chick. I dated a psych major once, and I can tell you, something ain't right with her." Okay, so Rico, do me a favor, as you're trying to be just part of the ambiance. Give me a sneak around to just see how wallflower you get. Because I totally could see you doing this, and they're just like, in the typical cop movie show, you're the guy just doing his 9 to 5 job while they're doing their thing. And
Okay,
then,
I'm going to tag temp worker and hard-working man.
okay.
And here's my sneak around check.
Oh,
I am
you're rolling
one.
well tonight.
I am
Yeah.
one with the back.
Wow. As you totally blend in with the background, as these two cops, immediately, once they feel that they're alone with just Martha and the bouncer, and the bouncer kind of like comes over here and gets away from them because they give him this beautiful simultaneous look of like back up, but they're totally ignoring you because you're just doing your day job, and they respect that because they are just doing their damn day job.
Hard-working man.
As they immediately start talking about her, and you hear them that they're perfectly doing the tag team cop thing where they both whip out their little notepads and pens, and they start basically reiterating things to Martha. And it's like, so the gentleman you said was roughly 6'2", bald, Caucasian, tattooed, wearing dirty combat boots and hoodie, and she's just like, uh-huh. And when is the first time you've seen him? And she's just like, well, I saw him kind of hanging around the alleyway behind the bar a few times, but never in the club until the night that. And she basically hears the story that you mostly heard her already tell of, she was. They walked in, and one of her clients that she was, she sings privately for, he's, sort of a therapy that she learned from her therapist. And the gentleman confronted him. They got into a fight, and the guy dropped dead right there at the. And she points over to where you guys saw the chalk outline earlier, over to here.
Did she, by chance, mention who her therapist was?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know what? I think since you're blending in so much that you just may have overheard her say that. As I'm pulling up notes real quick, because yes, there is a therapist that she's been seeing to help her get over some issues. It's Dr. Crystal Knight with both with K's.
Love it.
That was my therapist who was helping me through some issues, and she taught me therapeutic techniques that I could use for sharing my gift of song with clients. And of course, Das jokes with Quinn that, maybe you should see a therapist soon, and Quinn kind of just gives that cop, uh-huh. And then, then you kind of get, while you're pretending to clean, you kind of get shocked when Quinn says, so, again, the third victim that you were involved with. And she's just like, I had nothing to do with that. I was singing at a party, and the hooded man came to the party, and that poor man, Mr. Walsh, just died when he tried to stop the man from interrupting the Teddy's birthday party. And Quinn kind of like looks, and then Daz dives right in that moment of silence. Like, so according to our notes here, Adam Walsh, father of the birthday boy, 15-year-old child Teddy, so you were hired to, and he looks and says, "See, this is a birthday," and she kind of like gasps on her breath, and she's like, "No, you're right. It was at the funeral house, little Teddy's funeral." And she just seems kind of confused for a moment there, and he's like, "Yes, at 15-year-old Teddy's funeral, you were singing, hired by Mr. and Mrs. Walsh, and you're saying that when did the hooded man come in? And he's kind of like giving her the grill, and she kind of stammers a bit, and you can totally see, Rico, as you look kind of across the bar over Cyrus, is she's physically squirming. You can see Cyrus is getting agitated. You definitely get this protective big brother vibe off of him. And Martha just does this little bit of, just, this is all so much. I was just working at the funeral singing for the mourners, and everything was just so sad, and there was just so much pain in the crowd, and I was trying to help, and that's when the hooded man showed up, and I don't know what he wants, but he seems to be stalking me. I think it's personal. And Rico, give me an investigate as you're listening in.
Okay.
And I'm going to tag your overconfidence. Because at this point, you're getting cocky.
I don't have any power tags to add to this, so this is a straight up roll.
Ooh, risky. Okay, so with your mild success, I will tell you, you can clear up with side glances that you get the idea that she knows more than she's saying. Cops, you're going to get the clue that you pick up is when the cops give each other the side eye and the single word communication going back and forth. Don't buy this for a minute. They have suspicions, but they can't prove anything. And, kind of looks over to him and says, and you're saying that the man just walked in, fell over. She's just like, uh-huh. Because the coroners are saying that the only thing that we find out is that the victims have all three victims have had a heart attack. But we see no signs of struggle. And they seem to like push the grill on her like one more time, and she just she seems to be giving the same rote answers as the camera swings back to the office here when all of a sudden Sammy comes out and kind of notices the door open with King and Cole here, and Sammy kind of pops in, and he just gives you guys the side look like, what's going on? As you hear like a bad demo record playing in the background of his office. It's really old homemade jazz records, but it's like demo quality.
Oh, love that shit. I'll just kind of look at him and just say, "Tops are here, man."
And he just gets huge saucer eyes, and he starts to bolt unless one of you guys stop him.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can get him to stop. Whoa, hold on.
Okay, so
hold on there just a second.
Cole, go ahead and give me a convince as he's going to go try to save his moneymaker.
What is his moneymaker?
That would be Martha.
Sure.
Oh, I see. Right, sorry.
Unfortunately, the dude tries too many things for business instead of actually running a good business.
Yeah.
All right. Think I can click all those. My own type of eccentric, talk my way out of anything, charming.
All kinds of personality at play.
Heck yeah.
Do it, man.
I don't need those. Are we set? Are you tagging anything?
Nope.
Okay. So which one am I doing?
It's going to be convince. That you're just like, whoa, let the cops have their say. She'll be fine. Wow.
Look at that. Boom.
So immediately, unless there's some status I'd like to imply, you having his attention and keeping him there the rest of the night if you wanted. As of course Cole does that charming thing of, so what's that music I hear? And then King and Sammy would probably go off into an all-night explanation to you of the classic nuances of the old school jazz. that influenced
classic.
everything from jazz to every music since the 40s.
Hey, whatever. I'm good. People need to chill out. So
Okay.
if that makes King feel better, we're all good with that.
Okay, so Sammy comes in there with King and you guys have this all night jazz conversation, unless you guys break out early.
Do we, or does Cole have to choose like a status then with the power, or a number of statuses?
He can if he wants, or he can just use that to, you've totally got the guy's attention. Every time he attempts to leave, Cole just automatically, I mean, it's a freaking 12. That he can totally pull the guy back in with some interesting little bit of bait.
That'll work.
Well,
until you're ready to get out of here, do what you got to do.
Well, look, and while we're having this conversation, then I'll kind of just level with Sammy a little bit and say, look, what's going on with Martha? There's something not right with her, and I don't know whether I can use the charm or the tag that Cole might have. Do you see what I mean? Just to make him a little bit more cooperative.
I will definitely give you a +3 to a convince if you want to get Sammy to spill the beans.
Damn right I do. Yeah, because he seems to be covering up for something, and it doesn't seem right to me. I'm just
poor Sammy. You literally have got bad cop on him without him knowing.
Yeah.
We're just friends, man. Just friends helping.
Okay, let's. Right, so we're doing. What am I doing? Investigate.
Okay,
I think I will.
Or I can give you investigate if you want to go investigate.
I don't know what's the difference in the outcomes.
Convince, he'll tell you bits. Investigate, you basically squeezed every bit of juice out of him.
I think it feels like an investigator role to me.
Yeah.
Because we know, do you know what I mean? We know certain things, or at least we think we know certain things.
Yep.
Right.
And you're basically to just give the juice.
Yeah, kind of confirm it, deny it, or give us something. Okay. I know. Oh, Jack, bit of everything. There we go.
Club owner.
And I don't know whether any weakness tags that you neglect important relationships with the living. I don't know. What do you think?
As I just had a cat run across the computer.
Classic.
Douchey cats.
Ooh.
Run behind me.
Should I a weakness tag then? Should I my own tag, or is that something for you or other people to do?
Usually it's for me and other people. Which one are you thinking about?
Okay. Sucker for a good story.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I think I should tag that.
I will go ahead and tag that for you.
Yeah. I don't have legs, but it looks, if I'm asking him for the story and
it's totally appropriate.
And I haven't got my kind of lie detector power work. Right. So investigate, yeah?
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, as you're like, tell me. As Sammy kind of sits down and the thing is going on over here at the bar, Sammy starts to like open up to you, especially King. There's a reason why he called. He's always
working him over.
He's always respected you. You're like the ideal of what he would like, except he has no musical talent other than fine talent. That's like his gift.
Yep.
And he basically tells you that I'm mortgaged up to my ears in this place. I'm barely keeping the bill. I mean, the club being shut down because of the dead is just ridiculous. I mean, my club has nothing to do with the dead stiff out there. I mean, yeah, I know Martha's had a string of luck. I mean, after she finished with her therapy, with that shrink she's been seeing, the two are not. The only thing I can think is that creepo alley was to rob the kid because he's one of those yuppies, those well-to-do, third floor business that might have some money but won't have it for many years because they'll burn it on women and as he looks around for the nearest bottle to take a drink himself. Pour some for you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Only two glasses, so he pours glasses for you and drinks out of the bottle for himself.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, who? Sam the tattoos, man.
See, Cyrus says he may have seen him in the alley before, but I have never seen this guy before. The Cyrus and Martha mentioned him in here. It's just like that was the first time. And then Martha was taking some other gigs. Thankfully Doo managed her work, and she had the funeral home situation. He kind of like gets all kind of like nervous, pours you guys some more drinking if you haven't drank it. Now sit at the brim. He takes
what funeral home is this?
There was some kid, Teddy. His parents wanted someone to sing at the funeral, and that was. And Martha apparently went to the funeral home and did her thing, and she was all dressed in black like she does for that type of thing, and did the whole singing for the customer over at Green Meadow Funeral Home, and that hooded tried to jump her, and poor the client. I mean, I'm still waiting for a check from them, but I feel like shit going up to the widow asking for the money, but I really need the money. I mean, she lost her 15-year-old kid, then her husband drops dead of a heart attack at the funeral. That's some bad luck.
So her husband died.
Yeah, the husband died. I mean, so she was singing there, and then the hood guy showed up there, and some people said he was hanging out a while. Others say he was trying to confront her, and that's when the client between them, and the dude just dropped dead. I mean, from what I heard, I didn't send Cyrus with her because she said she was safe. So she said that the father was just bad. When that guy came in and tried to make a scene, did what any man would do. He looks at you guys and he's like, right, you stand up. That's what you do.
Sure, yeah. Did you say she had what was the other thing?
Well, yeah, it's those pricks. Kind of like rubs his forehead and sighs, and you know what he means. The private gigs for folks who can afford to have private performances.
Yep.
A couple old clients of ours, the Bencrofts. Couple rich stiffs. Well, Ross Rencroft and his wife Tiffany hired her to come up and do some singing at a private event, and he kind of gives you that look of private events. As all of a sudden you get the eyes wide of like, what? Well, unfortunately, details, but from what I've heard, the hooded Tiffany didn't make it through the night, if you know what I mean. Thankfully, in that when Margaret happened, she managed to get away before she saw the hooded guy mess with her with the Bancroft security folks, which by the way, those guys, and he kind of flops down in his chair wiping sweat off his brow. He's like, those guys came and had words with me too. They're called the Valhalla Boys, and he just like rolls his eyes at that. Some like guns for hire bullshit, but apparently they came with my check from Ross Bancroft and said nothing happened. He's got it all taken care of with his wife's death.
Sure. Okay, man. Okay, it's a tough gig, and it doesn't look good for you, does it? But got this crappy demo. It's awesome. I love it.
As he's like, yeah, I got this kid off a kid on the 9th Street. He didn't even know what he had. He just had it wrapped in like wax paper. Selling a bunch of records, and I found this beauty in between the new age stuff. As there's a flashback.
Yeah. Well, it's it sounds like an early Deep Morton to me. Back in the day when he was doing all that bebop stuff.
And
Kind of look at Cole and just give you the look. It was okay.
Yeah. You see, kind of hinting to stay, and it's like, but yeah, I'll be like, yeah, hey, I guess go check, see what's going on out there, make sure everything's cool.
Yeah. Listen, Sammy, I know it was one club owner to another. I'll try and do what I can for you. I'm sorry about this money business, but maybe you should hire somebody, who's managing money. That's what I do. I'm just.
as he just kind of like gives you this look of like, wise words. I wish I would have listened to him years ago.
Yeah.
I just need to get out of the red, and everything will be fine.
Well, man, look, good chat. Good.
Thanks to Cole's crafty charisma, Sammy will have no problem sitting there nursing his bottle while you guys walk out if you want to leave.
I'll kind of look at Cole. Are you done? Kind of thing, or is there more about?
No, I'm good. You got stuff handled. So I'm like, just kind of nod, like, yeah, let's boogie.
I feel like I'm riding on the tailcoats of your car. Do you know what I mean? It's like you actually did hard work.
I'll set them up and you knock them down.
Awesome, love it. Fine. Sorry, we've taken the light a bit from there. Go on, man.
No problem. As King gives him that buddy pat on the shoulders. He sits there and takes a long pans over here to these cops that are finishing their grilling with Martha, and all of a sudden and all of a sudden Das, just as they're about to say, okay, so Martha, we've got your number, we know where to find you, as they gesture at the bar. So if we have any further questions, we will give you a call. Lost it. Here is our cards. And yes, Das carries him and his partner's cards in his pocket. He's a good partner. And because we haven't heard any phone calls from you yet, we're hoping that you'll remember something. And he gives you that way that he's judging her when he says it. And she's just trying to play it off, like only a high performer can do. As he gives her the cards, and he says, "Oh," and he flips one page of his book to something. It's that total ambush style cop work. So just to make sure we're clear, never at the Bancroft penthouse 2 nights ago, correct?
Boom.
And she just what? And he's like, okay. I was just wondering because there was someone across the street that says they look like you leaving after someone had an accident there. And just the way he says accident, you totally know what I'm talking about. And just then they start to excuse themselves as they look broken windows. They more in the room. Conveniently is about when opening the curtain and coming through, and they just say, "Have a good night, everyone." As they politely go walking back through the door they kicked open.
With their guns drawn. I love it.
Immediately over, barely Rico, and grabs that one glass that he put out for her earlier to drink, and she just slams it. As Rico pops out of nowhere.
So, what do we do? This is a very good.
And Sirius immediately walks over to her and gives her comfort. Are you okay, Martha? Those cops are no good for business. And she's as soon as Chris comes over to give her comfort, she starts weeping on his shoulder. It's the total move, especially with King's guilty suspicion, but he doesn't have any proof he's guilty of anything. Because when he tried to accuse her, he got nothing from her. There's that hint of possible deniability.
Yeah.
I'm going to head into the kitchen. if I can find a dustpan.
Okay. You parkour back over the counter.
I love it, man.
No, I'm behind the counter all the time, and there's a door to the kitchen
yep.
right here.
Yeah. I know.
Just keeping at it, cleaning.
Yep.
I know it's sorry if it's breaking the immersion a bit, but a couple of years ago I did a live role playing game that was like what do you call it, like Musketeers, and one of the rules was if you were a servant and you were in a room doing like sweeping or fixing something for you, up on conversations. That was the mechanic of the LARP. Really clever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Totally appropriate to be, unheard and unseen as they're doing their job. We all know they hear everything.
Yep.
Why the butler usually does it.
I am going to stay on the stage, I think, and I'm just going to keep on Martha and see what she does.
She's
I'm going to come back here with dustpan and start pick up by hand.
okay. What's Cole up to?
I'm the king, serving in the room, watching her. Funky.
So after Cyrus gives her some TLC, she's totally like, I'm ready to go home, Cyrus. And she kind of glances back at the three of you. She kind of looks longer at King, shakes her head sadly, like there's some sad secret she knows, and then she just and she just gives a wave goodbye to you guys, and she's like, Cyrus, can you walk me back to my apartment?
I'll just watch her go.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta step away again. Damn it. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good.
Well, I guess I don't suppose it's talking, does it?
No, on the side now.
Yeah. They do first, and then we can have a. I think we need like a power chat, don't we?
Oh no, yeah, definitely got to.
Yeah, we need to say. Tell us what you think. That kind of thing.
Yep.
So I thought that Martha is seeing a therapist, a Dr. Crystal Knight, to deal with, and apparently pressing on Martha as a primary suspect is because outside of the victim that died in the bar, they think that she's responsible for the death of a child's funeral, someone by the name of Adam Wall. And they also suspect her of being present at some location called the Bancroft penthouse, where someone died.
Yeah,
and
Tiffany Rencroft. Tiffany Rencroft. Yeah, that's what Sammy told us.
And all the victims died of a heart attack.
Yeah, something with what Sammy's implying and stuff. Something's up in this hooded guy keeps showing she's performing.
I think that maybe the hooded guy is one of her surviving victims.
Or the thing that occurs to me is we're hearing that information. That information turns up every time when he's turned up. Apart from whether she's telling them that, or it's a good question, man. It's he surviving something else. Is he? God, I don't even know what to think. Is he part of some cult that deafen them so that they can't hear it?
What was your freak out about?
Man, and I'll kind of look a bit sheepish and kind of. I see her, and she's worse. She's like, I don't know what I haven't seen anything like it. It's all I don't know, a ghost or a vampire or something. I don't know, but it's fucking scary, man.
Well, can you Can you provide a little more description to what you saw? Hair
Just
color, eye color.
yeah, I mean, she was kind of all white and flowing, and kind of all with blue eyes. I don't know. I don't know enough about this stuff, really. You know, she doesn't look like anything I've seen before, and I've seen ghosts and things, but they tend to be a reflection of people in their life. That then they're not just this is someone else, dude, and I don't know what to make of it. It's like I don't know.
Aged, withered.
No, not I could see. I didn't look for long enough. You know, it scared the shit out.
Yeah. I haven't seen you shaking quite like that before.
No. I can't help thinking that there's part of this we're missing because we haven't. Maybe because we haven't. Maybe if we could find this guy, this tattooed guy. You know, he might not be the bad guy. He might be trying to stop her.
Well, or I mean, this is your alley, but you know, it's not. But he uncannily seems to appear when she's performing. Is she manifesting him?
Like, is he death? You mean?
Because it seems to, from the story, this uncanny ability. You thought you saw him tonight. And
Yeah.
She acted out or performed. So, you know, maybe he's being pulled or manifested from somewhere, kind of like you drew, the victim, to talk to us.
Yeah.
And maybe she doesn't realize that she's pulling him.
What do you think, Rico? I mean, is she cops the truth or not?
I think that she's telling the truth. She knows it.
Right.
But all this stuff, to be honest, sounds like it started after she started seeing the therapist. If she is like one of us, maybe the therapist triggered something.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could try and see the therapist, but I guess they've nothing about them, but I guess they've got some pretty tight rules about discussing things with people that are clients, unless unless one of us pretended to be a client, who's got some psychological issues, and I'll just
I look at you.
I'm not looking at Cole.
Cole looks at King. King looks at Cole. By the way, I love where this is going.
Oh shit! Yeah, we're.
So
well,
I'm sorry, guys.
I tell you what, I was.
We might have to wrap up a little early today. I still have a little bit of time, but I got to get some stuff from my mother-in-law. She fell ill last night, and she's quite. But
sure.
So you guys, she's okay. I mean, we checked her out to make sure she's not hurt, or just saying she's okay and she's not okay. But yeah, she's needing some more help. But
okay, dude, no problem, man.
Some great leads with Crystal Knight, which alone is like a femme fatale if I've ever heard one.
Of course it is, especially spelled like that. Love it, man.
We've got the as I have to flip over to my page where Kat is now sitting on
Green
the book.
Meadow Funeral Home.
Yep, you've got the funeral home.
The Walshes.
And the house that you can go follow more information of because the cops were so nice to drop off, who had a
Ross
genius
and Tiffany,
plan.
The Valhalla Boys.
What were the cops' names?
The cops' names are
Das and I've written it down here.
As my cat is touching the pad. Stop touching.
Where are they? Come on, they're on here somewhere.
They're on the character page.
Das and Quinn.
Yep, Das and Quinn.
Das and Quinn.
And they're both detectives.
Yep, they're both detectives.
Classic.
And we will totally let you see everything but the GM notes on Das and Quinn.
Tall, handsome, corn-fed hunk. What's a corn? What's a corn-fed hunk?
That's an American farm boy who ate plenty of carbs
Oh.
growing up, so he's got the
Fine.
football player build.
Yeah. Okay, corn-fed. Love it. Because you get chickens in the UK that if they're corn-fed, they're just yellow. That's basically what it means. Like chickens in the supermarket,
That's funny.
Love
So,
it.
and Das and Quinn are pretty cool with you guys. I mean, and you do have, if needed,
Even
just
better.
throw that out there.
Yeah. No problem, man. That sounds great.
Because obviously you guys had nothing to do with it. It's not like you're suspects.
No.
Nobody described any one of you three weirdos at any of the scenes.
Yet. Yeah.
Right.
As you know, poor Daz says, "I hate jazz," as he walks out.
Oh, that immediately makes me undeniably angry. Yeah, I mean, while you're away, Jim, sorry, we had a bit of a, if what's her face, if Martha's going to go with Silence and the cops go, we have a bit of the three of us, we just had a bit of a chow down about what we know and our ideas and stuff.
Yep, as they conveniently leave you in the now large and empty and quiet bar. So you can totally plan nefarious deeds in the empty bar with no one overhearing you. As for him drinking his bottle, I'm gonna end up with broken legs from the mob.
Fine. Well, I think Cole and I should go and sit at the bar, and we should maybe a little headway on a crappy bottle of bourbon, and we can.
I have the run of the bar right now. We're going for the good stuff.
Oh, go for the good stuff, man. Yeah. So Sammy's nearly bankrupt anyway, so what does it matter?
He's going for the good stuff that's so top shelf, you have to actually open the hidden pantry to find the top shelf it's on.
That's it. Yeah.
Blow the inch of dust off of it, and then pop the cork.
Of course.
So, I mean, I kind of like your theory, Cole, about maybe she manifests or summons him somehow, but it seems weird, that.
This coming from the guy that just summoned the raid.
Okay, I give you that. Okay, yeah.
I've been around you a while, dude.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know whether. So, what's our plan?
Well, we could definitely try talking to the psychologist. My charm, we can, maybe convince her to share a little bit. But that might be another actually having her perform for us privately. And wait for him to show.
That could be problematic.
Cole feels very exposed after his little vision.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't describe to you what she did to me. It was like she looked into my soul and saw something that she could exploit or feed on or something. It was that's the best way I could describe it. And I'm worried that I don't want to be that guy on that floor, man. I don't want to be the next one. I'm young. I got a healthy heart, but that doesn't seem to matter in this case.
Yeah, we gotta figure out who this guy is. It seems like only when she performs. Now we don't have to be the target. Maybe get to go to her next performance that she's performing for somebody.
Yeah, but the only person that we could approach that would know that would be Cyrus.
Or Sammy.
I don't think that Sam books her private sessions.
We could just ask her. She might let us go, maybe.
Totally tell you. Because he told them a story in private while you were with the cops.
Yeah, we'll share that. You heard that, Neil? Did you? The conversation we had?
No, I got distracted by my cat.
I got distracted by a bee. So, yeah, I mean, Sammy told us that Martha had a gig at the Green Meadow Funeral Home and its funeral, and she sang, and Mr. Walsh, the father of the kid, but Martha told Sammy that the tattoo guy turned up. And
Sammy booked that gig?
Yeah, and I don't know whether I... Oh, what's that?
I'm sending you a picture of my cat.
Oh, very good. And she had a private party for Ross and Bancroft. And she was singing, and she told me that the hoodie again. And Tiffany Forces or somebody for Colour Boys came and had with Sammy afterwards. He clearly has got a hand in
Valhalla.
Yeah, that's what he said. Who are they?
Do we know anything about them or heard of them?
Does someone who might know Gunfire want to roll and investigate to find out? Ooh.
Not really, guys. It's probably more you.
One tag I can use, which would be
does anyone
contacts
in
in every neighborhood.
Read the last page magazine.
No,
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
It's
Soldier Fortune.
The stories of soldiers for hire, mercenary type stuff.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes back, of course, this was like this would be back in the 80s, early 90s, that you find ads like A-Team like ads for people to do things.
You're joking, really?
Legit or not, but
God.
You send $10 in a self-addressed envelope to get making your own hover.
Okay.
That was like in like every one of those magazines back in the day.
Of course, you got like all the tech and guns and
new stuff hitting.
Yeah. So now they even have a website now. So
still in print.
Website.
Jim, you shared.
Facebook
chat.
Facebook. I shared a picture of my cat lounging in the game.
Oh, I see. Yes, sorry.
And his paw on the. I used my mouse. He was pushing the touchpad. My was going spastic.
Well, you should clearly upgrade from a mouse.
Exactly. It is a superior furry creature. Just don't tell the dogs.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
nothing like an assistant, a GM, help out with things.
He is a style that rocks fall and me. And in the Roll20 the funeral home, because Rico was to give that to Cole, who wrote that down on a bar napkin.
I don't know what our next plan is, and I appreciate it's 2:00 in the morning, guys. So whatever our plan is, we should get some sleep first.
Okay, so time for that whole. It's been a long day. We got to get some downtime.
Yeah.
Okay, so we fade to black as you guys get some sack time, and King is going to hopefully try to recuperate himself. And
how do I do that?
So when we do the downtime, do you guys want to do downtime or wait till the end of next session? Since this is like a quickie.
Well,
since I got to run away.
Yeah. Question.
Next time, should we?
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably fine. But so how's the heirloom part work? Or my family heirloom with the 3 attentions? Does that happen? When does that trigger?
So that'll be on our next downtime that you can trigger that and flip the card and get like an extra boost to it.
Okay. So I need to think about what kind of improvement.
I see you've already flipped your card to look at the improvements.
Well, yeah. So you can have up to 5 improvements. Holy cow!
There is room for improvement.
And that's
Okay.
on what? 3 attention, is it?
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. So it's not the 4th one that flips it over, it's the 3rd one.
Yeah, once it's full. Put on the next downtime.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Sorry to run off,
Sarah,
guys.
no, you're good.
Yeah, if you want to be possessions, there'll be examples for improvement for it. You can get the idea, and if you want something slightly.
Yep.
Most of the stuff in the player's handbook is for the.
Yeah. The air advances.
Yep. All right, guys. Sorry.
No, if we.
We don't
Oh.
yet.
Well, I mean, if you're pushed for time, we can always talk about it over Facebook or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. If you can drop it on the Facebook chat of what's good
Yeah, no
for
problem.
folks.
Okay,
It's a hard
man.
time since he's an hour late. All right,
man.
All right, later.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck on everything.
And by the
work,
way,
everyone.
that went awesome. Throw that out there. All the bad
Thanks.
rolls and all the cool story points.
I'm glad you're.
Hey,
It was very.
it couldn't have been better than you come just dropping the bomb in the bomb.
Yeah, then screwing it right up. Yeah.
And now
But I
she
took
knows.
it all.
Poor King's
Yeah.
gonna knows all about his dirty little secret.
That's it.
Well, so she only identified him, or
Yep, she only identified him. Yeah.
doesn't know we're special. Okay.
Yeah. So out of her moves, it's not even that she knows he's special. She just greatest weakness.
A weakness, yeah.
So now that she knows the weakness, she can use the weakness. Almost like as if you're a sad father crying at his son's funeral and you accidentally use their weakness.
Yes.
She's got a cool power
that,
trigger that if she knows your weakness that she can use, but it requires her to have a hard move to figure out your weakness, because NPCs don't roll anything; they react to your rolls.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait for us to screw it up. Yeah.
Okay. So, but it doesn't open up her to sense that we're different.
That riffs, yeah.
Just
like King totally has a suspicion she's a rift of something. He doesn't know what, because the clues have all been vaguey McVaganson freakouts as opposed to he pinned her down and figured it out. But he has a hard suspicion that she is not a sleeper, which is a normal person. But he doesn't know what she might be. I mean, she technically doesn't know what King is either. She just knows his greatest weakness, because everyone has one.
Right.
His greatest pain.
Right.
Alrighty, guys.
Right.
Later.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess.
Done, everyone. Good work.
Take care.
Yeah, very good.
Have a good